A very good morning to everyone gathered here today. First of all, I would like to say a happy Science Day to all. I, Ms. Sanjali Navalkar, is delighted to welcome you back at Goa University for the closing ceremony of a week-long science event that was held from 22nd February 2022. Indeed, it was a productive, fruitful, and a wonderful social program, and today we are here to conclude the same. Today is also the day we acknowledge and appreciate the talents of our winners who participated in various competitions held at the event. To grace today's function, we have with us Honorable Registrar of Goa University, Professor V.S. Nadkarni, and the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Parveen Kumar. We welcome you, sir. I now request Coordinator Dr. Sandesh Bugde and Co-Coordinator Dr. Lectina Gonsalves to kindly escort the dignitaries to the dais. Plant symbolizes abundance, good luck, and so we wish the same for our guests. Therefore, I request our volunteers to welcome our guest with a potted plant. I kindly request Ms. Roshan Mahale to present a potted plant to our registrar, Professor Nadkarni. I now request Ms. Siddhi Nanodkar to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Parveen Kumar. I also request Ms. Yurani Halankar to welcome our dean, Professor V.M.S. Verekar. I request Ms. Yuvrani Halankar to welcome our coordinator, Dr. Sandesh Bugde. I request Ms. Roshan Mahale to welcome our co-coordinator, Dr. Lectina Gonsalves. I also request Ms. Siddhi Nanodkar to welcome our Vice Dean, Professor Shirsat. I now request Ms. Dviti Mapari to kindly introduce the chief guest of today's function.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. I extend a warm welcome to everyone present here today on the occasion of closing ceremony of the Science and Technology Festival Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, coordinated by Vighyan Prasar and hosting partner Goa University. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our today's chief guest, Dr. Parveen Kumar. Dr. Parveen Kumar obtained his bachelor's degree in agriculture in the year 1990 with a distinction and being the gold medalist. He obtained his master's degree in agronomy in the year 1992 and doctoral degree again in agronomy in the year 1997 from ICAR-IARI New Delhi with IARI Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Performance and GA Dastane Gold Medal for Best Student Researcher, and joined ARS in December 1995 as scientist at ICARI Regional Center, Modipuram, and served for about 15 years. Dr. Kumar joined ICAR Karnal on 1st October 2010 as principal scientist and served there till 31st October 2021. During November 2020 to April 2021, Dr. Kumar was posted as Principal Scientist Agronomy in NRM Division ICAR Headquarters, New Delhi. Since 1st May 2021, Dr. Kumar is working as Director of ICAR Goa. At ICAR, Dr. Kumar is actively involved in the research. Besides this, he is also handling many important institutional responsibilities like being the member secretaries. Sir has also standardized irrigation and planting schedules of salt-tolerant rice and wheat varieties in partially reclaimed soil. Sir has done commendable work on estimation of carbon sequestration potential of different land use system in reclaimed sodic soil, biomass estimation and carbon sequestration rate in eucalyptus plantations, carbon pools and nutrient dynamics under eucalyptus-based agroforestry system. At ICAR, Dr. Kumar has developed complete package of agro-techniques for maximizing chip grade and French fry grade potatoes for processing varieties and their storage both as fresh and stored. The technology developed by him resulted in increased net returns to the farmers by 15 to 20% and has ensured availability of quality raw material to the potato processing industry. Dr. Kumar was also associated in the development of 4 high-yielding potato processing varieties, that is Kufri Chipsona, with high dry matter and low reducing sugar, having field resistant to major potato disease, that is late blight. All these processing varieties are extensively being used by potato processing industries and are in high demand for table purpose as well as due to its excellent culinary quality. Dr. Kumar has published more than 100 research papers in National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, in international and national journals, 17 proceeding papers, 15 technical bulletins, 9 books and training manuals, 31 book chapters, 43 popular articles, and 17 TV radio talks. Besides this, Sir has also presented over 80 research papers in seminar. Dr. Kumar is also a recipient of ICAR Hari Om Ashram Trust Award as team leader for the year 2014 to 15 for crop and horticultural sciences and associateship of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences in the year 2008. Sir has also been conferred with several awards and medals for his outstanding work and leadership, some of which are Indian Society of Agronomy, wherein he was awarded a gold medal. Sir is also awarded for its outstanding contribution in the field of management of salt-affected soils and poor water quality by ICAR and the award is Excellence Award on Soil Salinity. Sir is also awarded as Dr. Kumar is also a visiting scientist to Institute of Resistant Research and Salt Tolerance, Rostock, Germany, and has attended International Symposium on Agronomy and Physiology of Potato. On behalf of Goa University, the hosting partner of this Science and Technology Festival, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, I once again extend a very warm welcome to our today's chief guest, Dr. Parveen Kumar. We are honored to have you with us today, sir. I also welcome all of you present here for this closing ceremony of the Science and Technology Festival, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. At the end, I wish everyone a very happy Science Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dviti. I now request Dr. Sandesh Pugde, Assistant Professor, School of Chemical Sciences, to present the report of the 7-day Science Festival.
A warm good morning to everyone. Respected dignitaries on and off the days. Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Parveen Kumar, Director, ICAR Goa. Registrar, Professor V.S. Nadkarni. Teachers, students, and everyone present over here. I'm glad to present the brief report of the Festival of Scope for All, the Science and Technology Communications, Popularization and Extension, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, which began on 22nd February and concludes today. The event was witnessed and experienced over 5,000 plus people from the state of Goa through offline and online mode, which includes students, teachers, science experts, and general public. Around 500 students belonging to 20 different schools, higher secondaries, colleges, and institutes from various parts of Goa attended and participated in this event. Subject experts from various scientific fields delivered inspiring lectures and interacted with the young minds. The students were introduced to the topics such as advancement in Ayurveda, artificial intelligence, COVID-19 vaccination, homeopathy, unmanned aerial vehicle, global warming, etc. The students got exposed to microscale techniques in chemistry as well as had an virtual experience of Antarctica. Scientific films, radio talks from the Vighyan Pujyate website were screened throughout the festival. Students also had an opportunity to visit the National Institute, CCARI, ICAR Goa, as well as Science Center Goa. Key discoveries, innovations, and scientific milestones that made a mark in the global science of India's development were showcased via 75 different posters. Further, achievements of eminent scientists were also displayed via 75 posters as a part of exposition at the Silver Jubilee Hall at Goa University. Different institutes, book publishers, different boards, Goan startups had put up their stall at the expo for this 7-day-long science festival. The event had different competitions such as Rangoli, poems, documentaries, models, essay, monologue, paintings, photography, and posters on 5 different themes of Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, which were Annals of Science, Milestones of Modern and Science and Technology, Swadeshi Paramparik Inventions and Innovations, Transforming India, and Science in Next 25 Years. We received overwhelming nationwide response for these online and offline competitions. All the programs of the event were live streamed on the YouTube channel Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate Goa. The event was found to be scientifically enriching to the participant, which was conveyed through their feedbacks. Yes. Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, sir. I now request our registrar, Professor Nadkarni, to say a few words on this occasion.
Good morning, one and all. Our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Parveen Kumar, Director ICR, our coordinator and co-coordinators, deans of faculties, vice deans, other faculty members, all the other parents and visitors, students, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to say a few words today at the concluding day of this particular session, a week-long event, Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate. I am sure that this was actually witnessed by many of you. Many students from the schools and colleges had attended, got benefit of various developments, to see the various developments in the science and technology. Today is the National Science Day. We know that we celebrate this in memories of Sir C.V. Raman for his discoveries of Raman effect. And the theme of this particular day is also related to obviously science and technology, popularizing it for a great future. This particular event, as you know, is actually organized by the Ministry of Culture in association with Vighyan Prasar. The Vighyan Prasar is actually a body supported by the Department of Science and Technology. And as the name suggests, they are very actively working for the, for spreading the science and technology to the common man. And some of you will recall that since December 2021, we had been witnessing various events. There was an International Science Festival, and this is the next one, which was a week-long event. And through all such things, the government of India is trying to point out to our own public the kind of developments that have been made. Again, we all know this is all happening for the purpose of celebration of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the 75 years of Indian independence. And it's the very important event for all of us. It is very important that on this particular occasion, in this whole year, we try to review the kind of developments in the science and technology. And more important that our youngsters, students, see this and get encouraged to do much better things for the society. I am sure that all those youngsters, the school students who attended this, have got that particular encouragement. And they have also noted in the process that for their own education purpose, higher education in the science and technology, the Goa University is very much here with all its schools and science schools. And they are always welcome. I am very sure today is because of the Science Day, it's an open day, but otherwise also I know that whenever the schools approach us, the deans of the schools, science schools especially, I know, for any kind of help, for doing their projects or other things, they are always encouraged. Some of the deans of science schools are already sitting here. I was myself one time dean of School of Chemical Sciences, and we always help this. And I think all the schools teachers, if some of them are present over here, should remember this, and they are always welcome to come and use this facility. We have to work together, we have to encourage our students and see that this development in science continue. Of course, our coordinator mentioned about the number of students and the general public participating. I know that the corona has the pandemic has created lots of problem. It has actually resulted in a very odd examination schedule. So I know that many of the schools are having their exams during this time. We know that some of the schools agreed to come first, but later on had to cancel. So all such problems have occurred. Otherwise, it would have been, a much higher number of students who would have participated. I hope for the Science Day, again, those who miss some chances will come here today and, interact with with our research students or faculty members. Towards the end, I must place on record the sincere efforts by the coordinator, co-coordinator, and the entire team Goa University. Last almost 2 to 3 weeks, they have been working very hard to make all the arrangements. Thanks are, of course, as I said, due to the government ministry who actually planned this particular event and who considered Goa University rather, as one of their 75 locations for this particular event. Thank you. Thank you, Vanika.
Thank you, sir. May I now request the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Parveen Kumar, to say a few words and share his thoughts on the occasion.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the Vice Chancellor of this esteemed university, Goa University, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, to have some discussion with you, and tell you something about the how the agricultural science has helped the country, especially during the pandemic years. Since you all know the program which is being concluded on the National Science Day, Vighyan, Sarvatra, Pujyate, is basically with the theme to popularize the science and to tell the science, to make you aware how the scientific innovation, scientific contributions has helped the mankind, helped the country. So I believe that the contribution of chemistry, contribution of other physical sciences, mathematical sciences, physics, and all basic sciences has been discussed in detail in different lectures in last 1 week. The thing which was missing, I think, was the role of agricultural sciences, how the agricultural sciences also include the animal husbandry sector, veterinary sector, fishery sector as well, because it is the allied sector of the agriculture. So it is my opportunity I got to just discuss with you all about the contribution of agriculture sciences in last 75 years, because this program is being organized under the aegis of Bharat Ka Amrit Mahotsav, because we will be celebrating our 75 year of independence in 15th August of this year only. And before going into detail about the agriculture science, I would like to convey warm regards to all of you, all the faculty member sitting here, our registrar, our coordinator, co-coordinator, and all my dear students from my institute, that is ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and Central Coastal Agriculture Research Institute, Goa. We are the only one institute in the state of Goa of the ICR, and ICR is a umbrella organization, just like UGC, just like CSIR, just like ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, and we have about 113 institutes spread all over the India, from Leh Ladakh to the Andaman and Nicobar. In the state of Goa, We are the only one institute. So, friends, you know that agriculture revolution you might have heard, everybody might have heard the role of agriculture revolution, bringing the prosperity, bringing this country to self-reliant. Basically, that was the science-led distributions. That was the science-led contribution in which our hard work of our farmers could able to increase our food production drastically. So what happened in agricultural revolution in terms of getting more high yielding varieties of different crops, especially of the rice and wheat, use of modern technologies, increased farm mechanization, development of integrated farming systems, use of precision farming, use of scientific soil and water conservation measures, integrated pest management practices, conservation agriculture, and the efficient mode of technology led to India's food production is increased. The fourth estimate we have already got for the Indian food grain production, that is 320 million ton. Can you imagine? When we became independent in the year 1947, our food grain production was just 50 million ton. So within a span of 75 years, we are producing 320 million ton, which is 6.4 times higher from the same piece of land. Piece of land at that time was also, cultivable land was also only 141 million hectare. Today also it is 140.5. It is rather 5 lakh hectare lesser land. We are producing the 6.4 times more food grain production. So this is the contribution of agricultural science. The productivity at that time when we were just got independence around 1950, it was overall productivity of the crops was, average productivity was just 5 quintal per hectare. Now our average productivity is close to 25 quintals, almost 5 times higher productivity. This is the role of science. Similarly, if you talk about the horticulture science, which also include vegetable production, but also include fruit production, that has been increased by 10.5 times. At the time of independence, we were having only 30 million ton of vegetable and food grain, fruits. Latest estimate says that it is 331 million tons, more than 10 times increase. So this could able to was possible because of the use of scientific innovations. Now our country is self-sufficient in food grain production, and this could only be possible by the hard work of our dedicated farmers, coupled with scientific innovations developed by our agricultural scientists. You might have realized that during COVID-19 pandemic, agriculture was the only sector that showed positive growth rate among all the production sectors. We all were confined to our rooms and houses, but farmers were there in their field because they have to take care of the crops on day-to-day basis, whether irrigation application, whether agrochemical application, whether harvesting of the crop, whether sowing of the crops. All operations was done in time, and we could able to achieve the bumper production, rather higher yield during this period. And the strength of the agriculture science, you could realize that during this pandemic period, we could able to feed 80 crore peoples, our brothers and sisters, for over more than 1 year, that too free of cost, and without importing even a single grain of cereals or pulses from other countries. Rather, our country was in a position to support our neighboring countries who are really in need of the food. So this is the role of agricultural science. Similarly, giant strides have been made in agriculture export. In 1950s, our agriculture export was around 150 crore rupees, that's all. But today our agriculture export is as high as 3 lakh crore rupees. But piece of land is same, but productivity has been increased by 5 to 6 times. This is all about this. That's why we call it a green revolution. Now I would like to talk to about the white revolution as well. White revolution is generally referred to the increase in the milk production. The livestock and the animal husbandry sector, which includes dairy, sheep, goat, horse, camel, pig, yak, rabbit and poultry as well. Of the country is one of the major contributor towards the supply of high quality protein to our brothers and sisters, and played a major role in providing the nutritional security of the country. Total livestock population was about 293 million in 1951. At the moment, we have about 540 million livestock population. That has increased almost double. But milk production in the country has increased by 10.5 times in last 75 years. In 1947, it was just 20 million ton milk production, and today we have 210 million ton production. So all these is the contribution of agricultural science. In the same fashion, egg production has increased by about 5 times in just 3 decades, in last 30 years only. The scientific interventions in terms of livestock production management, identification of high yielding feeds, breeds, crossbreeds, genetic engineering, artificial insemination. Our institute has also standardized the artificial insemination protocol for the pigs and the goats. Innovation in feeding type, shelter management for the animals, health management, development of novel vaccines for the animals, value addition and post-harvest management has revolutionized the livestock sector in our country, which is giving a good productivity and yields, and we are almost self-reliant because of our scientific innovations. Similarly, if we talk about the fisheries sector, which usually we refer as a blue revolution, fishery sector has been contributing significantly to the protein supply and food security of the country since its independence. The country contributes 6.3% of the global fish production. At the moment, the fish production of the country has reached to about 14.2 million ton from 0.7 million ton in 1947, means it is around 20 times increase in fish production in last 75 years. Increase is as high as 20 times. Now country is earning about 50,000 crore rupees from the export of the fish products. Thus the aquaculture sector had the green revolution in the country, and Indian growth rate, average growth rate of fish is more than 7% in last 2 decades. Fishery sector growth was supported by the Blue Revolution schemes and scientific innovations such as intensive farming system, integrated farming system, multi-species culture systems, composite fish culture of the Indian major carps, shrimp aquaculture, ornamental farming, integrated multi-tropic aquaculture, and so forth. These are the good things about the agriculture science. Apart from that, I would like to just, if with any development, some things are good, but simultaneously some side effect has been also observed of the green revolution, of the misuse of our scientific knowledge. And that has to be, our duty is to make aware the public. So how can those side effects or all those misdeeds which we have done by mistake or unknowingly, how those can be fixed at the moment. One problem which has arisen because of the green revolution, that is the nitrate contamination in the groundwater. This is very common where urea was used on a large scale or overdose. In some areas, the tubal water is having the higher nitrate content, which is 3 to 4 times more than the permissible limit. This is a measure of concern, and we need to educate our farmers to use the quantity of urea or nitrogen fertilizer in an appropriate manner. Similarly, indiscriminate use of agrochemicals, specifically insecticide, fungicide and pesticide, have resulted in loss of the biodiversity, which is very close to our heart, specifically for the Goan populations. So that also needs to be popularized. Scientific practices needs to be popularized, and as students, you can take this role. You can be ambassador in spreading the knowledge, right knowledge to our farmers, how much agrochemicals to be put at what time, so that should not affect our biodiversity, which is very, very close to our Goan peoples. Similarly, because of intensive agriculture, somewhere soil health was also compromised. Specifically, soil health is majorly measured by the content of organic carbon it has. So where there was a granulation hub, whether it was Punjab, whether it was Haryana, whether it was Western UP, in all granulational hotspots, the soil organic carbon is decreasing, MBC is decreasing. So that is a matter of great concern to all of us, and here our dear students can play a very important role. How we can increase the green cover, how we can increase our soil health, because soil is our mother. If soil will be sick, definitely productivity will be low in future. Similarly, because of overexploitation of the groundwater, many areas in the north has come into dark zone. This is a matter of great concern to all of us. And another problem you might have also seen about the straw burning. That is also a problem of the second generation problem of the green revolution, because of heavy machinery like combined harvester hasn't come, then that is harvesting our paddy and wheat in a very less time. But lot of straw is being kept on the soil, and to dispose that straw in a less time, farmers are burning it. This is another a second generation problem, and there also you can play a great role and survivor of the environment. And this is all about which I want to share with you about the role of agriculture science in increasing making this country, making the Goa self-reliant. But since I am coming for the first time and participating for the first time in any program of the Goa University, and some of you might have visited our institute, as our Mr. Sandesh already briefed that he took some of you to ICAR, and sorry I could not meet there at that time because I was there attending some other meeting in this Pato Plaza. But just briefly I will take another 2 minutes to brief about our institute, what is our institute, and just little history of our institute. And friends, our institute in Goa was established way back in 1976 as a regional center of the Central Plantation Crop Research Institute, which is placed in Kasargod. But seeing the importance of agriculture in the Goa, it was realized that it was upgraded as a independent institute in 1989, and its name was given ICR Research Complex for the state of Goa, and its mandate was to take care of the agriculture, to take care of the livestock, to take care of the forestry, environment, and as well as fisheries for the state of Goa. But later on in 2014, it was realized that because the environment, the agriculture we have in Goa, almost same type of agriculture is being existed throughout the coastal areas. So our institute was upgraded as a Central Coastal Agriculture Research Institute on April 2014, and now 75 districts, all coastal districts are in our mandate that spread across all the 9 states of west and east coast, from Gujarat to Kerala and from West Bengal to Tamil Nadu, along with 2 UTs, Pondicherry as well as in the east coast, and in the west coast, Dadar Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. We have 3 mandates, and at present we have sanctioned strength of 130 permanent staff, but at the moment we have 80, in which we are 23 scientists and all other supporting and administrative staff to help the scientists. And working since 76 or 89, our institutes have developed about 17 crop varieties which are very popular in the state of Goa, some of also popular in the state of Maharashtra and Karnataka. 4 varieties of rice which are being grown in the Khajan land, those are very salt tolerant varieties. 4 varieties of cashew, and 6 varieties of brinjal, 1 variety of cowpea, 1 variety of bhindi, 1 variety of this lal bhaji, you call it, red amaranthus. Total 7 varieties we have developed, and we are supplying about 2 lakh number of quality planting material of different crops like coconut, areca nut, black pepper, cashew to the Goan farmers as well as to the other coastal farmers. And we have developed many decision support system and other smart technology or digital technologies which are helping the Goan farmers as well as the other stakeholders involved in agriculture, livestock and fishery sciences. And one thing I would like to share with you that our institute has developed climate smart integrated farming system for the west coast as well as for the east coast by integrating crop component, by integrating animal husbandry component, by integrating fishery component and agroforestry component. And I'm happy to share with that those IFS model recommended for the west coast as east coast, developed by or standardized by our institutes, have greenhouse gas emission of in the negative, because we have permanent boundary plantation and greenhouse gas emission was in negative. So these models, so that we can counteract or mitigate the climate change impact through our agriculture. So what we are aware that how to mitigate the climate change impact, and we are developing our old technology on that pattern only. And in the end, just I would like to brief that last 45 years what we have done, and we have just done the impact assessment, how many socio-economic impact assessment has been done by our institute, and we found that we have, our technology have resulted into about additional income of 751 crore rupees to the farmers, and budget given was in these years about 250 crore to us, and rate of return on investment was 202% for our institute, and our technology directly helped the 1.4 lakh farm families, along with generating about 5.2 lakh mandates in the country. And with these words, I extend my hearty thanks to the Vice Chancellor and Registrar Sahab, as well as coordinator and co-coordinator, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to talk to you and say about Indian agriculture, senior of Indian agriculture, the role of agriculture to our country, to the Goa, as well as just tell you briefly about the impact of our institute. With these words, thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for sharing some important information on agricultural science and its importance. Moving forward, we have the prize distribution ceremony, and I request Dr. Alvino Da Costa to take over the stage for the next session of the program.
Now we will have the most anticipated part of this function, that is the prize distribution. We received entries and participants, from different schools, colleges, higher secondaries, as well as from the general public. And we had a variety of different events that were taken place, both in online mode as well as in offline mode. So without any further ado, I will begin with the ceremony. So for the first event, that is the Sai monologue from the school, we have two first place winners. So the first place winner is Mr. Shankar Gaonkar from Satari, Goa. Shankar Gaonkar. Okay, it's not here. Then the next first place winner is Gargi Bankar. Gargi Bankar from Mapsa, Goa. Is also not present. Okay, moving on to the next event, that is the Sai model. From the school, the first place goes to Vignesh Shetye from Keshav Baliram Hedgevar Vidya Mandir. I would like to request Chief Guest, sir, to kindly present the award. The second place goes to Dayanand Sarvankar from Saraswat Vidyalaya High School. Dayanand Sarvankar. The third place goes to Kushraj Singh Solanki from St. Anthony's Senior Secondary School, Udaipur. So from Udaipur we will not be here. Then from the higher secondary we have the first place winner, that is Anmol Dadich. Anmol Dadich. The second place is Shane Dias from Don Bosco Higher Secondary School, Panjim. Shane Dias. So moving on to the next event, we have the first place winner for Sai poem, that is Jude Fernandez from Goa University. Jude Fernandez. The second place goes to Ethan Dias from Luz Convent High School, Saligaon. Ethan Dias. I would like to request the chief guest to present the award. The third place goes to Mrugnaini Raikar from Goa University. Mrugnaini Raikar. Yeah. Big round of applause. From the general public, we also have a separate category for the science poem for the general public. The first place goes to Radhika Kale. Big round of applause. The second place goes to Vaishnavi Kamath. Vaishnavi Kamath from Purvaram, Goa. Big round of applause. The third place goes to Yuga Venkatesh Ghodke. Big round of applause. Moving on to the next event, that is the Sai Essay. The Sai Essay from the highest secondary. We have the first place winner, that is Madhusudan Hasbe from Mushtifund Higher Secondary School. Madhusudan Hasbe. All right, from the school, the first place winner is Gandhali Paste from Saraswat Vidyalaya High School. Gandhali Paste. The second place goes to Tanvi Sarode from Kendriya Vidyalaya INS Mandavi Vere. The third place goes to Kushraj Singh Solanki from St. Anthony's Senior Secondary School. Okay, the next event is Rangoli, and the first place goes to Prachi Talaunekar from Goa University. Big round of applause. The next event is Sai Photography, and from the general public, the first place winner is Abhishek Ashok Govekar from Kurlim, Goa. A big round of applause. From the institutions, the first place goes to Abigail Albuquerque from Perpetual Succor Convent High School. Abigail Albuquerque. Another first place, that is Videsh Ghadi from Government College Kandola. Videsh Ghadi. Moving on to the next event, that is poster competition. So from the higher secondary school, the first place goes to Asha Anil Naik from Mushtifund Higher Secondary School. Asha Naik. From the school, the first place goes to Gayatri Narvekar. Gayatri Narvekar. The second place goes to Khushbu. Khushbu. Third place goes to Rama Gaunkar. Rama Gaunkar. Give a big round of applause. And we have another third place, that is Gaurang Nerurkar from Kurlim. Gaurang Nerurkar. Big round of applause. Moving on to the next event, that is Sai Painting. So from the higher secondary, the first place goes to Saumitra Sarmokadam. Saumitra Sarmokadam. A big round of applause. Okay. Just now. Just remind me. From the school, the first place goes to Rudra Shetye from Saraswat Vidyalaya High School. Rudra Shetye. A big round of applause. The second place goes to Aryan Vengurlekar. Aryan Vengurlekar from GS Amonkar Vidya Mandir. And the third place goes to Vimi Vishwas Naik. Vimi Vishwas Naik. Big round of applause. From the higher institutions for the same event, that is Sai Painting, the first place goes to Divya Shenvi from Goa University. A big round of applause. The second place goes to Pushpak Mashelkar from Goa University. Pushpak Mashelkar. A big round of applause. The third place goes to Chandrakant Parab from Goa Engineering College. Chandrakant Parab. And the next category is the Sai documentary. The first place goes to Mayank Gupta. Again, he's from St. Anthony Senior Secondary School, Udaipur, so he will not be here to collect it. And I think there was one Sai essay, that is Madhusudan Hasbe from Mushtifund Higher Secondary School. I think he's here right now to collect his award. So big round of applause for Madhusudan Hasbe, who gets the first place in the Sai essay from the higher secondary section. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Once again, congratulations to all the winners. I request our coordinators to escort the dignitaries on the dais to take a seat off the dais as we proceed with the program. We will now play the video clip to look back upon the 7-day event. Indeed, a great experience to be remembered. We now have a dance performance by Miss Shushmita and also a dance performance by Miss Shushmita and her group. And I kindly request them to take the stage.
ah गजवदन हे गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय
हे गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय
हे गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय दशावतारी आम्ही धरितो तुमचेच पाय दशावतारी आम्ही धरितो तुमचेच पाय हे
गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय
हे गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय
हे गजवदन वक्रतुंड महाकाय
वक्रतुंड महाकाय
वक्रतुंड महाकाय किदत्ताण लंबोदर किदत्ताण विघ्नेश्वर किदत्ताण छत्रपती किट कनक किट कनक किदत्ताण छत्रपती किट कनक छत्रपती किट किदत्ताण धा किदत्ताण धा किदत्ताण धा Thank you to the team for a beautiful dance performance. Folk dance celebrates cultural roots. It tells us about the foundational stories or simply emphasizes the pride. To showcase our Goan traditions and pride, we have Kurteshwar Brahma Mahila Mandal, Right Kurti, with their cultural dance Fugdi.
मूर्तमणी कोणी देवाने घडविला, सीतेचा मूर्तमणी कोणी देवाने घडविला.
सोनाऱ्याने घडविला रामाने चढविला, सोनाऱ्याने रामाने चढविला,
सोनाऱ्याने घडविला रामाने चढविला, सोनाऱ्याने घडविला रामाने चढविला.
काय तर काशी अकराच्या दिवशी, काय तर काशी अकराच्या दिवशी,
एकाय तर काशी अजराच्या दिवशी, एकाय तर काशी अजराच्या दिवशी.
सूर्य उगवला रेणी पाशी, सूर्य उगवला रेणी पाशी,
चांदसूर्य उगवला रेणी पाशी, चांदसूर्य उगवला रेणी पाशी.
रेणीतल्या नागोबा रखमाचा कुंकू,
रेणीतल्या नागोबा रखमाचा कुंकू,
माझा कुंकू जन्मोजन्मी, माझा कुंकू जन्मोजन्मी,
रखमाचा कुंकू जन्मोजन्मी, रखमाचा कुंकू जन्मोजन्मी.
चांदणी सूर्य उगवला, सूर्य उगवला,
चांदणी सूर्य उगवला, चांदणी सूर्य उगवला.
तुळशीच्या त्या पेढीवरी, तुळशीच्या त्या पेढीवरी,
तुळशीच्या त्या पेढीवरी, तुळशीच्या त्या पेढीवरी, पेढीवरी.
मीच बाई नवस करी, मीच बाई नवस करी,
मी जबाई नवस करी, मी जबाई नवस करी.
कपड्याच्या त्या कुंकवासाठी, कपड्याच्या कुंकवासाठी, कुंकवासाठी,
कपडाच्या त्या कुंकवासाठी, कपडाच्या त्या कुंकवासाठी, कुंकवासाठी.
चांदणी सूर्य उगवला, चांदणी सूर्य उगवला,
चांदणी सूर्य उगवला, चांदणी सूर्य उगवला.
लाटगाला टोळी काय टोळी जाईल, लाटाला काय टोळी जाईल, लाटाला
लाट ग लाटोणी काय कोणी जाईना, पाटाला काय कोणी जाईना, पाटाला.
कोण्याच्या आईला काय कोण्याच्या आईला,
कोण्याच्या आईला काय कोण्याच्या आईला.
कोण्याचो सुने भरून धर्माच्या वंशाला काय धर्माच्या वंशाला,
कोण्याचो सुले करून धड माझ्या औषाला काय धड माझ्या औषाला.
आंबे जोगगे जोग अंबाबाई,
आंबे जोग गे जोग अंबाबाई,
आई माझी निसली गे निसली पितांबर,
आई माझी नेसली गे नेसली पितांबर,
आई माझी बसली गे बसली मकरात,
आई माझी बसली गे बसली मकरात.
कपा घरीला गे घरीला शाबानी,
कपाळ घरीला गे घरीला कुशापाणी,
माते घरीला गे घरीला पुष्पानी,
माते भरीला गे घरीला कुशापाणी.
आता घरीला गे घरीला पकडानी,
आता भरीला गे घरीला तकाणानी,
भरीला गे घरीला पैजाणानी,
पाये भरीला गे घरीला पैजणानी. सोय सोय संसदाण, मी सांग वाटलेचं म्हणलं कोण. सोय सोय संसदाण, मी सांग वाटलेचं म्हणलं कोण. वडवळीच्या बेलावर पाय कसा ठेवू, पाय कसा ठेवू. नागाच्या फणीवर दिवा कसा लावू, दिवा कसा लावू. मूठभर तांदळाचं वाण कसं लावू, मान कसं लावू मामाला लेक झाली नाव काय ठेवू नाव काय ठेवू आपटून दापटून घे बाये दाते म्हणीला आपटून दापटून घे बाये दाते म्हणीला सूर्यासारखे घे बाये पीठ दळीला सूर्यासारखे घे बाये पीठ दळीला उदाक ना म्हणून बाये त्याला अंतलेला उदाक ना म्हणून बाये त्याला अंतलेला चंद्रासारखी घे बाये भाकरी भाजील्या 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 आबोली फुलल्या बायकडे सुनवाई धरटा चुलीकडे दुधी बियाची वेल देवानो घुमटेवर गेली देवानो घुमटेवर गेली सुवर्णाच्या ताटी देवानी दीपक कराचीला देवानी दीपक कराचीला पाचा आरती पंचा आरती कोणाक ओवाळू देवानो कोणाक ओवाळू गणपती देवा मकरात बसला त्यासी ओवाळू देवानो त्यासी ओवाळू
कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा
कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा
यशोदा आलिया धावूना यशोदा आलिया धावूना
यशोदा आलिया धावूना यशोदा आलिया धावूना
कैरी बाळा काय काय मागशील देते मी आणूना देते मी आणूना
काय रे बाळा काय काय मागशील देते मी आणूना देते मी आणूना
आई मला चंद्र दे धरूना आई मला चंद्र दे धरूना
आई मला चंद्र दे घालूना आई मला चंद्र दे घालूना
तसं मला चेंडू दे करूना तसं मला चेंडू दे करूना
तसं मला चंडू दे घालूना तसं मला चंडू दे घालूना
तरी कसला खेळ तुझा जगा वेगळा रे कृष्णा जगा वेगळा
असला रे कसला खेळ तुझा जगा वेगळा रे कृष्णा जगा वेगळा
कृष्ण घाली तो लोळाणा कृष्ण घाली तो लोळाणा
कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा कृष्णा घाली तो लोळणा
झेम झेम जमाडा
झेम झेम जमाडो
माझ्या पोटात आमाड
माझ्या पोटात आमाडो
शेजारी बाई मशास्त्रिया
शेजारी बाई मशांकरिया
तुझा मत्सर राजू दे
तुझा मस्सा राजू दे
मग बाई राजू जातल गे
मग बाई राजू जातल गे
माय माका बोलतली गे
माय माका बोलतली गे झेम झेम जमाडो 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 झेम झेम
I thank all the ladies for their enthusiastic performance. I now request our registrar, Professor Nadkarni, to give away the memento to our chief guest as a token of love and appreciation. So I kindly request Professor Nadkarni and our chief guest to come on the dais. I now request Dr. Lectina Gonsalves to kindly give away a memento to our registrar. I believe great events like this never end. They just take a pause and keeps us awaiting for the next. But as we are near the end of today's function, I request Dr. Lectina Gonsalves, Assistant Professor, Parvatibai Chogale College of Arts and Science, to propose the vote of thanks.
Vighyan Sarvatra Pujyate, which means science is worshipped everywhere. And indeed, during these last 7 days, we have had a glorious celebration of science and technology here at Goa University through various platforms involving students, teachers, scientists, and the general public. I, along with my fellow coordinator, Dr. Sandesh Bugre, take pride and pleasure in the success of this festival, which was possible due to the hard work and commitment of our team members, Dr. Aniket Gaonkar, Dr. Rupesh Kunkalkar, Dr. Nikita Lotlikar, Dr. Anjani Nagvinkar, Dr. Diptesh Naik, Dr. Evelino Dicosta, Dr. Bhakti Salgaonkar, Dr. Shrikant Naik, and Ms. Dwiti Mapari, all faculty here at Goa University. We wholeheartedly thank you for your time and effort. As we bring the curtain down on this 7-day Festival of Science, I take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank all the people behind this event. First and foremost, we thank and acknowledge the efforts of Vighyan Prasar, Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, and the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, for the conceptualization, funding, and the overall guidance to conduct this festival. Heartfelt thanks to Dr. Kinkini Das Gupta Mishra, Chairperson of the Organizing Committee, Vighyan Prasar, and Dr. Arvind Ranade, Coordinator at Vighyan Prasar. We also thank our knowledge partner, Vighyan Parishad, Goa. We sincerely thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Goa University, Professor Menon, for lending his support throughout this festival. I also thank Professor Nadkarni, Registrar of Goa University, for his unflinching help and constant support in organizing this event. Thank you, sir. Our deepest gratitude to Dr. Parveen Kumar, Director of ICAR, the chief guest of today's function, who has been kind enough to accept our invitation and spend his valuable time with us. Thank you, sir. We wholeheartedly thank the deans of the schools and heads of the science departments of Goa University for lending their support for this festival. We also thank all the invited speakers, faculty who chaired the sessions and demonstrated the science experiments. A sincere thanks to the Director of Education, Shri Bhushan Savaikar, who has been instrumental in helping us reach out to the schools and higher secondary schools within a short time. A heartfelt gratitude to all the principals of science colleges in Goa, headmasters and teachers of schools for their enthusiastic response. Many thanks to all the invitees at the Science Expo stalls, artists and dance groups for being a part of this festival. Special thanks to all the judges of the various competitions that were held online as well as offline as a part of this Science Day celebration. We also thank the research students volunteers, and the non-teaching staff for their ready help whenever it was needed. Thanks are also due to the technical assistance team at Goa University, the YouTube webcasting partners, the transport personnel, and all the others. Thank you, Ms. Sanjali Navilkar, for comparing this function. And last but certainly not the least, we thank all the students and participants for their enthusiastic response. It is you who have made this Festival of Science a celebration. Today, as the nation celebrates the National Science Day, let us continue to inspire, motivate, and contribute to science the best way we can. Wishing all a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request everyone on the dais and off the dais to kindly stand for the national anthem. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंग तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाए तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. I once again thank everyone for being here today and request all to join us for refreshments. I kindly request everyone to proceed to the cafeteria.